This episode of SESSLERS Something is brought to you by Full Sail University. All right, week after E3, usually it's quiet. Actually, that's not true. If you go back over the past years, the week following E3 tends to have things happen. One key one that stands out to me was the sudden departure from Microsoft to Peter Moore. There's a good reason after the big show and stuff happens. Nothing on the level of what happened last week. And just so you know, I am taping this on the Thursday of last week. So if God forbid something more or bigger happened, I'll just be curled up in a ball right now. I had to go attend the Screw Attack convention in Dallas. Nice meeting all of you, very nice people out there. Okay, so thoughts on all of this. It has been a point of wide discussion. This had to happen. Microsoft, even if they were in the right in some of their policies, so bungled the way that they had presented it, had so generated ill will, had turned the internet so against it that, you know, even someone like Jimmy Fallon is having to make mention to some of the policies they had instituted. That is a crisis of marketing on such a massive level. This might explain what I think is one of the more profound things that came out of it. Had these policies already been decided on, we would have heard about them at E3. So Microsoft, a very, 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 very large company, made a 180 turn in their policies in a remarkably short period of time. I think that really underscores just how dire the situation must have looked to them. I'm going to assume that they were also able to see data, pre-orders, that were showing that there was a tangible and material effect, and one that they had to rectify very quickly, or it might be very hard for them to sort of pick themselves back up and get going. Now that's the question. Can Microsoft pick themselves back up and get going? I, for one, don't think there's still anything fundamentally flawed with the box when you take the policies out of it. Having seen the Connect 2 or Connect thing that they have up there, I think it's very interesting, and that is one of the reasons why you're looking at a $100 more expensive console. As I've said before, if you include PlayStation Plus and the PlayStation Eye, you're starting to see a little more equity, but it is $100 more, and they have generated ill will. And the biggest issue by not making these changes during E3 is that that's when they would have the most attention from the most people all at the same time. I have a feeling the majority of the internet world and anyone who's even interested in this Sony versus Microsoft battle are now aware of the shift in policies. Nonetheless, it isn't as effective a platform to kind of make a statement about where you stand, what your policies are, and what the consumers may be getting with the product. So what is the takeaway from all of this other than, hey, if the internet, you know, gathers together to an angry mob, things can be changed, but wouldn't it be nice if you could change things that affected people's actual lives? Besides that point, the thing is, I really feel that Microsoft has learned, or has at least, the world has been shown a lesson that Microsoft has not necessarily shown that they've learned. They did change their policies, but do they understand why all of this became a problem in the first place? They were trying to speak to the gamer or the consumer from a bubble, where they could just say, hey, we're going to have this policy with used games, hey, we're going to have this policy with the DRM, and not really understand that they need to show something positive for the negatives that they're imposing, that people are smart, people are sensitive, and people are paying attention. They were attuned to DRM, they're already aware of all the uncertainties around used game sales, and yet when they demonstrated it the first time, it was as if they were unaware whatsoever that people might actually care. That's not just obnoxious, that's insulting, and that's how you get all that anger that does start to become irrational, but when you consider what they're reacting to, it's a lot more understandable. I think Sony also needs to take a very clear look at this. As I've said before, there is some information coming from both companies. I don't think there's enough information from it. They're large, they're very, very wealthy, and they do talk from ivory towers, and they have to step down, understand what the landscape is. This is the 21st century. This is all run on community and this weird kind of ephemeral goodwill. And I think we now realize all that love can bite back. Before we get to part two, we're gonna have a quick word for our sponsor. Now, obviously if you're here, you love to play video games, but have you ever thought of creating them? Whether you're interested in programming, art and animation, story creation, or even producing games, there's a game degree program at Full Sail University to fit your needs. Full Sail grads have worked on titles such as Red Dead Redemption, the Call of Duty series, and more. If you're looking for an online program, Full Sail's Game, Art, and Game Design Bachelor degree programs Utilize Full Sail's immersive education platform, giving you the ability to earn your degree from anywhere in the world. Visit fullsail.edu/something to learn more. All right, so last week I did my whole thing on why I didn't think anyone should pre-order, and some of you think I may have been prophetic. Might have been keyed into something that might be coming, I don't know. But with that, I'm not gonna gloat right here. What I do want to address, and I'm probably not gonna get anywhere with this, is, oh, Adam's an apologist, Adam is biased. Oh, I've also been hearing this for the past 15 years, so just so you know, it has water, ducks back, all of that stuff. What I do want to throw out there for you guys is, I understand passion, but Microsoft and Sony, these are large corporations that are going to be making money off of you when you buy this. And that sense of almost blinders on, incapable of having a discussion if someone's disagreeing with you, or actually reading what I said as some sort of soft pedaling on Microsoft and being hard on Sony, which is not how I in any way expected to be coming across. I was trying to be very even keel. What happens to put you into that position, where suddenly a consumer product becomes such a point of identity that you sort of lose a sense of sort of the larger picture and ability to, get into the larger discussion? I said don't pre-order, not so much because I didn't mean don't make the pre-order, but that we're not at a point yet where you can make a wise decision or commitment mentally to one system being superior to another, because I still believe there is not enough information to really tell the full story of what you're getting from either Microsoft or Sony. I know there's always gonna be a lot of contention and stuff in the comments, and especially on YouTube, but it is a little bit disconcerting from someone who's watched this industry for so long to see so many people just get in line behind someone who's gonna sell things to you, who's going to institute policies and things like that to you, and to just accept it is better than the other because of a story that has been spun by the people who stand to benefit from it.